Now we're going to look at multiplying and dividing radical expressions. So we're going to go right into an example. We have radical 3 times radical 6. When you're multiplying radicals, you want to multiply what's inside the radical. So 3 times 6. So that would give us radical 18. And we can go ahead and simplify this. So we want to find two numbers that multiply to give us 18, and hopefully one of them is a perfect square. So we got 9 times 3, and 9 is a perfect square. 9 times 2. And then we can split them up into two separate radicals. Radical 9 times radical 2, and then radical 9 would equal 3, so it would be 3 times radical 2, so 3 radical 2. Now we're going to look at another example. We have 5 radical 3 squared, the entire thing squared. So basically that would be 5 radical 3 times 5 radical 3. You want to multiply the numbers on the outside separately and then multiply the radicals separately. So we have 5 times 5, and then we have radical 3 times radical 3. That would give us 5 times 5, which is 25. So we have 25 radical 3 times 3, which is 9. So we have 25 radical 9. And then we can go ahead and simplify the radical 9 to 3, because the square root of 9 is 3. So 25 times 3 equals 75. Now we're going to look at an example that requires us to use the distributive property. We have radical 2 parentheses 5 plus radical 12 close parentheses. So you want to go ahead and distribute the radical 2 to both terms. So 5 times radical 2 would give us 5 radical 2 plus radical 2 times radical 12, which would be radical 24. Now we can go ahead and simplify the radical 24 to radical 4 times 6. And we can go ahead and split them up into their own two radicals. So we have radical 4 times radical 6. And radical 4 would be 2 because 4 is a perfect square. So the square root of 4 is 2. So that would give us 5 radical 2 plus 2 radical 6. And that's as far as we can simplify this one. Now we're going to look at an example that requires using FOIL. So we have 4 plus radical 3, and then in the next parentheses 5 plus radical 3. So you want to start off by multiplying 4 times radical 3. Then you want to go ahead and do 4 times 5. Then you want to do radical 3 times 5. Then you want to do radical 3 times radical 3. Now we can go ahead and simplify what we have. So 4 times 5 equals 20 plus 4 radical 3 plus 5 radical 3. You can see that they both have like radicals, so we can go ahead and add the 4 and 5. That gives us 9 radical 3. Plus radical 3 times radical 3 would give us radical 9, and the square root of 9 is 3, so we can write 3. Now we can go ahead and simplify this. 20 plus 3 give us 23, and 9 plus 9 radical 3. We cannot add the 9 radical 3 plus the 23 because they do not have like radicals. Now we're going to look at a final example of rationalizing the denominator. Here we have square root of 7 over square root of 2. Keep in mind the terms square root and radical are interchanged to explain these numbers. So what we want to do is we want to get rid of the radical in the denominator. So in order to do this, we have to multiply both the top and the bottom by radical 2. So when we do this, the top we get radical 7 times radical 2, which would be radical 14. And when we multiply the bottom, we get radical 4. So the bottom can be simplified. So square root of 4 is going to give us 2. So we have radical 14 over 2, and this is rationalizing the denominator.